this thing on. Okay. Hello and welcome to See This If. I'm sorry that it's been so long, well over a year since I've made any videos. It just takes a really long time to make these things and I'm lazy. Anyway, so what have we got in today's show? Well, it's a little bit late, but I've decided to do a review of 2013. 427 movies were released in 2013, and I've decided to whittle it down to my top 11 films. So, starting off, here is the first film. In at number 11 is Django Unchained. This was released at the start of 2013 and was directed by Quentin Tarantino. It is talking about the hot potato, which is slavery. Obviously, there was another film in the process of making at the time, which was 12 Years a Slave, and that film deals with it in a slightly different way and perhaps maybe a bit more, I don't know, sensitively. This film is typically Quentin Tarantino. It's got the dialogue, it's got the music, and it's got fantastic acting, especially Christoph Waltz. It was a Quentin Tarantino film. It's not his best, but it's not his worst. Number 10 is The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. This was released later on in the year, and I was a little bit apprehensive at first when I went to go and see this film. Was it going to be another Twilight and it went on from there, or was it going to be in its own? Of course, The Hunger Games deals with a deathmatch style game where only one person can come out victorious. So seeing a repetition of this from the first one, I was a little bit apprehensive. However, I was pleasantly surprised. They've decided to not go in the deathmatch area and leave that towards the end of the film and deal with sort of the background to it. Jennifer Lawrence is absolutely fantastic. It seems that anything that she does is just great, whether she's in a supporting role or, as in this movie, a lead role. But it's also her fantastic supporting cast as well, most notably the late and great Philip Seymour Hoffman. It'll be very interesting to see where this series of films develops with his passing. So that's number 10. World War Z is in at number 9. Well, a lot of people criticised this film. It went through a lot of production difficulties, especially the script, and it certainly does show in the film. But one thing, the reason why it's on my list is because a lot of films do zombie sort of apocalypse type things, and generally they are boring because they don't seem to evolve the story. But this puts it on a sort of a global sort of scale. And that's what made it sort of interesting for me. Also, it's shot in my home county in England, actually where I am now, in Dorset. The last few scenes there, I won't spoil the ending, but the last scenes are shot where I grew up. But also Brad Pitt, who does tend to act very similar in his roles, has decided to take on this sort of mainstream Hollywood hit, and he does fit perfectly into it. So that's the reason why it's in at number 9. In at number 8 is Olympus Has Fallen. Now this one is very much Die Hard in the White House, but I found this movie particularly compelling because I thought of the very realistic scene, or I thought it was very realistic, near the start where the plane attacks the White House, that the sound and everything like that made it all very realistic, and I was like, my God, this could actually happen. So I like that particular aspect of it. Also, there were 2 films out and of a very similar theme. I won't mention the other one because I don't want to give it a nod. But you know what I'm talking about. But I thought this was the better of the 2, and it's just so fortunate that they've decided to bring out a sequel, which will be out next year, called London Has Fallen, which will be shot obviously here in England. Number 7 is The Lone Ranger. I always found this one a bit of a puzzle because last year it was one of the biggest bombs of 2013. However, I particularly enjoyed it. I thought the chemistry between Armie Hammer, who plays the Lone Ranger, and Johnny Depp, who plays Tonto, was very good. I thought, despite, again, another movie that had script difficulties, it held up well, and the story just was fun. I mean, that's what it did. It was very nice, and the fact that it was set in the Western world, it romanticised it, just made it all that much more enjoyable for me to watch. So that's the reason why Lone Ranger is in at number 7. Well, the next movie in at number 6 is The Last Stand. This was Arnold Schwarzenegger's comeback movie after quite a long stint in the politics arena, and he made a comeback in this nice little B-movie. I couldn't decide between The Last Stand and Escape Plan, but I did eventually settle for The Last Stand, simply because it was, well, just more fun. It's got great car chases in it, a lot more Arnold in it, and generally it does feel a bit more like an Arnold movie, Johnny Knoxville aside. So yeah, that's me. That's, you know, you can expect Arnold Schwarzenegger to come in here at some point, and yes, he's come in here at number 6.